Good evening, good evening, and welcome to the Satchel. I am your host, Mr. Dapper himself, Jay Sats. My name will be hosting the POV. I have my wife years, Miss Pep Talk over
That's
there.
right. Get
Her
into it. Hey, hey.
her name is Priscilla. She is the co-host, and then we have our special guest who believe in in-laws. That is Miss Ronnie. She has been married to my brother.
Hey guys, going on 7 years in May, and we've been together for 12.
12 years. We are here to talk about marriage, kids, everything in between.
Everything in between. Come on.
We are not professionals. This is just our POV, and that's what we're going to give to you. Started on today's first episode. Shilla, go ahead and do.
All right. What's up, everybody? So, this is what we need y'all to do. We need you to hit that like button. We need you to hit the share button. And don't forget to the YouTube fam, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know every time that we upload a video, every time that we go live. And for the Facebook family, hit the share button, hit the like button, throw some comments in the chat. We talking about intimacy tonight. It's about to be spicy. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Yes. Come on.
We're not going to waste any more time. We're going to go ahead again. Our topic, our first topic at the POV is intimacy. And I'm going to shoot it to you, Ronnie. What is intimacy to you?
All right. To me, intimacy is that, like the nitty gritty, like
The nitty
the
gritty.
yeah, like the vulnerability. Like I that when you open up, with each other, that's intimacy to me. Like I want to know your fears and vice versa.
Okay.
Oh wow. So
So,
you trying to go deep.
right. So,
Going straight in, like don't give me nothing on the surface. I want it
Right.
everything.
We gonna dive in.
We're gonna dive
I'm
in.
pretty sure you and my brother have sat down on the couch or in the. Oh, I want to be intimate. So that's what you're saying when you like, I want some intimacy. So you're saying you want him to talk to you when you talking about intimacy?
Yes. Now that's me. Now I don't know. Now we know your brother, so I'm not positive what his definition of intimacy is.
I'm gonna tell you what my intimacy is, and maybe it's a whole bunch of us do. When you say, I say, when you saying you want to be intimate, I'm
Yeah.
saying we shaking the sheets, huh?
Shaking the sheets.
Shaking the sheets, we
What?
knocking the boot.
So that's the male perspective. That's what we saying.
Right.
The male perspective is shaking the
We live.
sheets.
We live. I'm trying to be
Oh,
nice.
okay. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
Okay.
gonna clean it up. Now, we'll see what happens. We might get X-rated, we might get R-rated. We'll see what happens. But
That
don't want to
is
get canceled on the
funny.
first episode, huh?
No, we don't want to get canceled.
Already.
But but no, I'm just saying when you say that. Oh, I'm like, I was I never thought intimacy was anything other than other. You see people holding hands. Is that intimate to me? I don't believe that's intimate, but I believe
I
intimacy.
mean, I think that's affection. Like, I think that's like
Right.
that's PDA. Like, that's a public display of affection. That's what that is. I don't. I feel like that's yeah, that's just like a what do you want to say? Like a sign or like I'm getting stuck on my words, but that's okay. I'm just saying, holding hands to me is not intimacy.
Yeah.
Like
That's not. Yeah.
that's just that's just like a little sign to everybody. Like, hey, we together. Because I mean, you can hold hands with somebody. That don't mean that you're close to them. That's just me. Y'all just holding
No,
hands. Like,
hold on, time. I gotta stop you there. I got a
Okay.
false flag on the play.
All right. All right. All
Because
right.
I don't even like holding your hand. And I love you. I do. But I
Oh,
don't
so
even
you
like
don't.
holding your
So
hand.
so
Why
wait. Whoa.
not?
Let's take a pause. What you mean you don't like holding my hand?
No, I'm just saying holding hands is just weird. Well, you're just holding each other's hands until you get all
See,
sweaty
I
and
was
tight
going to get
and
there.
awkward.
Yeah, because I'm not a hand holder. Like, I feel like
Thank you.
maybe that's some people's love language. I don't know. To me, it's a little annoying. That's just.
Yeah. That thing is a little.
Okay. I got y'all. The holding hands is out. Here we go. Like
That
no
thing is
holding
weird.
hands.
Like, so Sheila, what is?
Yeah. Let's get it.
Oh,
No
yes.
holding hands. Saying let me stay my distance.
I
Okay,
would.
what's up?
I'm just saying. I would do it because I know you like it,
I won't
but
necessarily.
that don't mean I have to like it.
It's not a requirement. It's not something that I have to have. Like that's not my number one requirement from you. However, depending on the situation, I will grab Jeff's hand. I mean,
Okay.
y'all see him. Well, y'all don't see all of him, but listen, there's a lot more to him. So therefore, when we're out amongst a bunch of people, yes, I'm holding his
Okay.
hand because he gonna clear the way, and I'm gonna follow. I'm taking advantage of the moment. I'm taking advantage of the. I'm taking advantage. Because if I try to clear the way, they're just gonna look at me like I don't see
Right.
you. Because I'm short. But yeah, so in those moments, yeah, I hold hands. Or sometimes I will grab Jeff's hand just to be like, hey, I want to bring
Okay.
you in. I'm trying to bring you in close. I want your attention. So
Right.
it's not necessarily that I just want to only just hold your hand, but like this is an indicator like, hey, I want to bring you in close. I want us to connect.
Okay.
So that's what I'm
Let me
saying.
tell you something. I don't learn something new on the live. Come on now. So just being a little weirdo, but you know,
What's really going
I don't know
not being
what's
weird.
going on. This is gonna be crazy. So go ahead, Sheila. What is intimacy to you?
So to me, intimacy is connecting. I feel like for every person, every individual is different, be it male or female. Like everybody's way of connecting is different. For me, I like to connect on a mental capacity. So I like for my mind to be stimulated.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the other things as well, the physical and all of that. But if you can intrigue my mind, then we have just made a connection and something's about to go down. So like I'm intellectual. Like give me a good conversation. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Um ask me about me, ask me a question. You know what I'm saying? And another thing to me, which is
Oh, we
I
gonna
think
talk
is
tonight,
real
baby.
good intimacy
What's that?
is when you like something about me other than what you see with your eyes.
Okay.
So like if you're gonna compliment me, I like compliments that aren't really about the physical or the outer.
Okay.
You- So
Give me an example.
an example for me, like the one of the biggest compliments that my husband gives me is that he always tells me that I make him better. You just got
Mm.
me. Like you just got my wheels turning, okay? Because I'm feeling
Right.
good about. I'm fe- I'm feeling good about myself. Not to say like, yeah, you can tell me that I look nice and I look good and I know this and I appreciate all of that,
Right.
but I really appreciate when you see me beyond the outer. And I think that's because growing up, I've always gotten attention for the way that I look from a male
Mm-hmm.
perspective. So I just like something different.
Okay. All right. Let's let that go. So so see everybody's. So I'm seeing everybody's different. So would you say there's different types of intimacy?
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie? Yeah, absolutely.
I would say in levels.
It
Like the way I feel about intimacy now, I couldn't say I felt that way when I was younger.
right, true. Take a little time, little
Right.
age, little maturity.
Break that down. Break that down for me. Help
You
me.
know what I'm
because
saying?
like, okay, we could be honest. In my 20s,
Go
the
ahead.
intimacy was like what
You
you were
look good.
saying. It's just sexual.
We
Right.
just
You
getting it on.
We getting
right.
it in.
You
Like he
know,
put it down. I'm
right.
sold.
So, but as me getting older, older woman, yeah, the sexual is fine, but like we got to get a little deeper.
Right.
And like thinking off of what Sheila was saying, like the it's more than what you just see on the physical. Like, and I'm kind of like that too. Like I like to be honest, and it's not so much about me. It's more of because y'all know Jamal. He's not a person that's going to open up about his feelings even till this day. Like if I can
We
get
ain't gonna
him to
talk
open up, he'll open
It's
up.
okay.
about my brother.
Yeah.
He ain't here.
He'll
He ain't here
open
to
up, but
defend
then after
himself.
he gets it all on the table, he'll be like, "Man, I just feel like a punk," and I'll be like, "What?"
Dang. Tell my brother feel like a
But no, let me tell you something. I think that's amazing. So ladies, I want to say this to y'all. Let me tell you something. If you can get a man to open up to you and to be vulnerable, you have won. Okay? Let me just say that. Now
What have they won?
know this. It's you only get one chance.
Listen,
You get
Lord knows
one chance. You
that's the
get
truth.
one moment. Don't jack it up. Okay? You get
listen.
one moment. And the best piece of advice I can give anybody is whatever you do, just don't say nothing. Just let it happen. Don't say nothing. Just let it happen.
Yes.
Let them express themselves however they want. Don't even say nothing. Just give them
Nope.
just give a little embrace, okay?
One
And
wrong
you
thing, they gonna shut
listen.
down
It's
forever.
over. It's shut down, okay?
Yep.
It is
Okay.
shut down.
So, questioning with y'all saying that because they say the world says this is the world that being negative in front of someone is the purest form of to agree with that.
Say that one more time. You said it's the purest form of vulnerability.
The purest form of intimacy is being negative in front of someone.
Now, hold on now. Now let's clarify that sucker. Because there's different ways you can be negative in front of someone.
Right.
You can be physically negative in front of someone. You could be emotionally negative in front of someone. You could be mentally negative in front of someone. And what that means is you're completely 100% vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're saying the negative is vulnerability.
Yeah, but the level of negativeness is going to depend on which one you fear the most.
Right.
If your fear is to be physically undressed in front of someone and you do that, then you've just became your most vulnerable. If your fear is that mental and you take those walls down and you let someone see everything that's going on up in here, you just became your most vulnerable. So it just depends, on which one you prioritize the most, whether it be mental, emotional, physical.
Well, because that's different. That's difficult for a lot of people to open up or
It's
mentally
scary.
because heck yeah, it's scary because you feel judged in our own
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
minds, but you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, it's
Even with being physically negative, you seeing all the humps, the lumps, the
mhm.
scars.
Mm-hmm.
You see everything that you are exposed.
But
Like
you know what
so,
I
you
love though?
go ahead.
I love at this point in relationship, no matter what changes I go through, you're gonna be right there. So I think you are like winning when you are in relationship with a person where no matter what physical changes take place, they still love you at the same level, if not greater.
Right.
So like
Okay,
I
so
don't
let's
even
let's
like
let's break that audience real quick, just for those who don't know. My wife used to be
251 pounds.
oh, okay, and lost how many pounds did you lose, baby?
That's a great question. I weigh 164. So you're the
Anybody,
mathematician?
anybody doing a calculator? Ain't nobody pull out no calculator. So you can tell she was 250 something. Now she's 160 something, almost 100 something pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, she has lost, and I know she like I have me a new wife, because I had in one half of our marriage, and now I have the current Sheila, who is
Same person.
The
Same
current
like
Sheila.
person.
just gonna
All right, so I'm gonna take a
cut.
moment real quick and I'm gonna reset the lives. Hey Tierra, thank you for commenting. I'm so glad that you're watching. Shout out to Tierra. Thank you for watching the Satchel
Hello.
POV. Um, so right now, you guys, we're talking about intimacy. Welcome, welcome to the Satchel Point of View. Feel free to hit that like button and share button. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, head on over to our page at the Satchel POV. Hit that like, hit that follow button, and you'll know the next time that we are on the air. All right, y'all, let's keep going.
All right. So were we were hinting to we was talking about being naked
Vulnerable.
before
Yeah.
somebody, being vulnerable before people.
Yeah.
So that brings me the definition. Good old Google, good old Webster. So with that, they say the definition is close familiarity, or the second definition, sexual intercourse.
Okay.
Actual definition of intimacy is being close. So then with that, four, 1, 2, 3, 4, four types of intimacy we allude to, which is physical intimacy, which is touch, hugging, feeling, and of course, sex. You have emotional intimacy, which is vulnerability, which we were talking about. You have mental intimate, able to share your ideas, thoughts, and knowing one another. And then spiritual intimacy, which is being able to understand each person. How do y'all feel about those different types of intimacy?
I'll let
Um,
Veronica chime in.
Huh?
I
I'm sorry.
think um well, what we gonna do? Break them all down because I feel like they're all
One.
important
Well, take
and
which
they all
one
tie
sticks out to you the
together.
most. Sticks out to you the most.
Um, mm, between the mental and the
The
hold on, I gotta bring
emotional.
that back. The yeah. Because that's another thing. Like the older I've gotten, the I don't know. Like
Versus
the physical just
interpersonal
isn't.
love.
It just isn't important.
I think just a matter. I think as you get older, it kind of changes. Like, yes,
Right.
you want that physical intimacy, but more than anything, you wanna have intimacy on all levels. You want to be
Right.
stable in all levels. Like, I want to just have something more with you than just what's physical. I want to be
Right.
able to connect with you emotionally. I want to be able to connect with you mentally. I want the whole, like, I want all of you because it's like if we just connect physically, then I just have a piece of you. But if I'm really feeling you and I'm vibing with you, we're in relationship. I want all of you. I want
Right.
everything. And I
Come on, you
understand
want
that
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 John
comes with
Legend? Go ahead.
yeah. Hi Lisa,
Right,
thank you for watching. Um, and that I understand that that comes with the good, the bad, and the ugly. But let me tell
right,
you something. I feel like that just makes you human. Okay, no one is 100 all the time. And you should be able to appreciate a person when they are at their all-time high and their low time low. And I feel like that happens when you have multiple levels of intimacy.
right.
Cause you ever seen somebody, they be in a relationship with somebody and then something happens and they be like, oh, I can't do this. And they just
Right.
out the door. It
Hmm.
makes me wonder how connected they are.
And 9 times out of 10, it's probably just a sexual relationship as far as bonding.
So hold up, hold up.
Because now you're in a
I got you.
situation where, oh, well, we're upset or whatever, and we're not having sexual relations right now. So now you don't know what to do. You don't know that person.
So
Yeah.
are you saying this is what I'm hearing y'all say? You're saying intimacy is good times, it's bad times, it's the difficult times.
I would say that when you're intimate on different levels, it gives you a greater commitment. And that commitment is what's going to hold you in the good times and the not so good times.
Right.
You know what I mean? If we're just connecting on a physical level, I'm not going to think to go to you when I got something going on emotionally. I'm not going to think to go to you when I got something going on with my family. I'm not going to go to you when, maybe something happened at my job today because, that's y'all know what we call it. Because in my mind, you're just a pleaser of my body. And if
Hmm.
that's not what I'm in need of at the moment, then why am I reaching out to you?
Right. And
That's
on
why,
the flip side,
yeah,
that person wouldn't know how to consult you or get out of you how you are feeling if y'all were just
right,
based off of a sexual intimacy. They don't even know you deep enough to say, well, well, maybe they just need some time because it's easy to get in your feelings, especially when you're in a relationship if you don't understand what the other person is going through.
right. And then you can misinterpret. But real quickly,
Absolutely.
thank you guys for watching. We're talking about intimacy. Feel free to jump into the conversation, put your comments in the chat. Tell us what you think intimacy is. Is it important? Is it not important? Do you think intimacy works on different levels? So share your feedback with us. We want to hear from y'all. But yeah, I think it's important because and even from like even like with men, because I know some people be like, well, men are just physical. But I think differently. No, I'm not a man. I'm not a dude, but I feel like there's more to men than just the physical.
Right.
Definitely. On the panel, I think I'll speak up for this one.
I think you qualify.
Uh, I think I do. No, I do think with the four types of intimacy that we were talking about, intimacy levels are different. I think everybody rates the importance differently. Does that make sense? So for most, I will say this. In general, for most men, physical intimacy is very most of the time is mostly number one. We want to be we do want to be touched. We want to be felt, and we want to have sex. I'm not gonna, let me tell you something.
We're
100
gonna
years
shake some
old.
sheets.
I'm gonna shake some sheets. I'm gonna knock some boots.
We're
Let me
gonna
tell you
flip it.
something. Going to the wheels fall off. But that's for me. Like for me, it's definitely physical intimacy is very important. And but then there is the mental and the emotional, and I think a lot of guys what happens is, especially in relationships, when women be like, "Oh, I'm a baddie. Uh, why doesn't he want me? He done got this ugly girl or this," because she stimulates him mentally and emotionally. She
Right.
can stimulate him emotionally where he's able to feel safe around her, and that because when your manhood is threatened
I think you
with
just
some
said
of these
something
women,
right there.
Go ahead.
Let's go there. Safety. Because you know, a lot of times, society or people, they'll be like, oh, just women. They
Mm-hmm.
portray it like women are big on safety and men are not. But I do believe that you can make your man feel safe, and that is important. And it's not gender based. Like safety is just important across the board. Like everyone wants to feel safe. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And like
Like
you
they
said, a lot
Yeah,
of people don't talk about that.
it's
So let me ask you,
hard. Go
hold
ahead.
on, Jay Satch. Let me ask you something. How can you make a man feel safe? Or what can a woman do, yes, to make a man feel safe in your opinion?
Mm.
Come on with it. Yeah, I did it.
Yeah, you did. No, so with that, for one, you got to be a good listener. I have to be able to be. I have to be able to trust you with. And so, what I would say is something that I have done, and I know most men will do. Something vulnerable, but not as it's like it's levels to it. It's layers. It's top level stuff. Like, hey, it's a little private, but I'm gonna share this with you. I'm gonna see what you how you do you judge me? Do you question me? Do you look at me there that I gave you? And then my thing is, are you going to tell your friends? Does it when I tell you this? And so when I notice that okay, start to open up, and you'll start to once a guy feels like you're trusted to give you layers of himself. But like y'all said earlier, man, once you betray that trust, it's shut down. Now, granted, should it be like that? It will. Like we, because the trust is gone on. I can't to shield my vulnerability because I'm exposed. Now you're letting everybody see my weaknesses.
So what you're saying is that most men will tell you one thing to see what you do with it, and then based on how what you do with it is based on whether they are, whether they feel safe or not.
Correct.
But
Because
wouldn't
my
you
thing is
say?
this: some women don't even get that far because if I see you, we're watching you, and so if I see you running and telling, using every little thing about everything, I'm not telling you nothing because I know in the street. So once you show that, hey, she can hold a secret, she cares about me, she's gonna protect my weaknesses because everybody has to vent.
Hmm.
I feel like everybody should
Mm-hmm.
share with somebody, and so if I can't, then I don't. You have to find somebody else.
Okay.
Which brings me to a question: emotional intimacy with someone else, cheating. So if
Emotional
you're in a
intimacy with
relationship,
someone else.
correct. So they, me, and we've been married for a while.
We
But
have.
if I was seeking, say vulnerable with another person, is that
So, I mean, if we're gonna take it there, I'm gonna
we're going?
say this. I am I am very big on your conversation, and you already know that. My thing with you is don't give all your conversation away and don't have none for me. You know what I'm saying? Have some conversation for me because that is one of the things that I enjoy about you. So for me, for you to give the good stuff, I like to say, to somebody else,
That's good.
that's gonna be a challenge. That's gonna be a challenge. Because my thing is, if you're giving that somebody else that conversation, that vulnerability, then pretty soon, you sowing seeds, you investing into other ground. but I'm the ground that you're supposed to be investing in. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I got a problem with that. That's a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like no, like you supposed to pour into me. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to invest into me because you committed to me. So what I would say to the people out there, if you're in a committed relationship, pour into the person that you're in agreement with.
What if that person to pour into it? Maybe if they're shutting you off, or maybe they don't want to listen to you.
Well,
For example,
one thing about gardening, sometimes before you get a harvest, what you got to do, you got to prune that thing, you got to dig in that dirt, you got to cut some stuff up, you got to pull it up, you got to uproot it. So what that means is that you got to have that hard conversation.
Mm-hmm.
well, listen to me. Let's take it there. Then, so
Okay.
let's say I'm a dude, regular dude, and all my conversation I have is work and sports, and you're not interested in what happens then, because now you're not
Okay, so
interested.
let me
Pour that into you.
I'm going to put a pause right there. I'm going to put a pin in that. That's a great example. For one, you are big on sports. You also are big on work. I've known this. I knew, hey, come on. I knew this for a long time. That's my nephew, y'all. I knew this about you prior to. So I knew that when I stepped into this commitment, I knew that you love football. So I know that we're going to have to talk about football. Do I know everything about it? No. But
Lord knows.
I try really hard, y'all. I try hard. I try hard. Okay. So I don't know a lot about it, but I'm not going to shut down those conversations. If I get a moment for us to sit on the couch together and we watching the football, it don't even matter that I don't know all the plays. I'm with you. This is what you love. I love you. We in this. So what I would say to somebody, um, if what they talk about don't interest you, I find it hard to believe that they're just starting to talk about it. When they
Mm-hmm.
first mentioned it, you knew it didn't interest you. You should say something.
And I feel like that's where the compromise comes from.
Right. Like I love cruise videos, and he knows that. And every
Right.
now
Oh
and
my
then
God,
he'll watch them with me. Okay,
Jesus Christ!
that's right. That's what happens. That's my niece in the background, y'all.
Yes.
Corey. She had to make her appearance to the world. But yeah, so I would say that you know when it comes to conversation pieces, that's why you got to talk to people in the beginning. I would say that's when you begin to date someone or you're getting to know someone. Ask all the questions you can, get all
Mm-hmm.
the information you can so that you can know whether or not this is something you want to commit to. It's something you want to invest in. And it's okay if you do, and it's okay if you don't.
So you're saying beginning of intimacy?
For me, the beginning of intimacy is conversation because
Yes.
it's almost like a it's almost like how can I'm not gonna say how because people get physical with one another all the time and they don't know nothing about the person.
You sure know? You right
I
about that?
Mm-hmm.
You know
That
what I'm saying?
that
But that's
last
why
call would do it
listen,
every time.
it happens. Last call is real. Okay. So I'm not gonna say that. But
Last
if there
call
is no
now.
last call involved, you know what I'm saying? If someone approaches you and they ask you out on a date, I mean, after about 2 to 3 dates, you may want to start asking some questions.
Right.
I mean, because, and I guess it depends on how you value your time. Like, I value my time. So if I'm now giving you a good amount of my time, I got to take a minute and think about, what this is and ask some questions and get some feedback. Because I want to know, I don't like time wasted. I don't know about nobody else out there, but I don't like to waste time.
That brings me to how me and Jamal met, because that took the sexuality of the situation out. When you're getting to meet somebody, we or the long distance. I didn't meet
Yeah.
him physically until we were 5 months in.
Oh, wow.
So for 5 months,
5 months.
y'all for those 5 months?
You said what did we what?
How did y'all communicate for those?
Well, back then, because it wasn't back then, that's how I feel. It wasn't all the FaceTime and stuff. So we literally sat on the phone all day. I'm sure because y'all work together, so you probably noticed them on the phone a lot. And we just talked. Like we really didn't have nothing else to talk about. Of course, you're gonna have those sexual conversations because it's a part of it.
I mean, it's a part of it. It's real.
Right. But and that's literally where we learned each other from. We knew what each other liked. We knew what each other didn't like. We was both going through stuff at the time, so it was a chance to open up. Now, what I will say is, it was still some enclosement. Like we're 12 years in, and it's still things that he is just starting to open up about. But he's become comfortable enough to start to open up.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot to unwrap.
Yeah. It takes time.
Yeah, just we really had to get to know each other in those months. We didn't have, like I said, that physical, and we always talked about it. We was like, what if we finally do get together and the sex is just, and I was, that was a great question. Right.
Now, let me say something about that. Okay, first of all, and this is just me, but when you have already, I'm going to say it like this, when you already have tested the water, when you've already tested different bodies of water, and then you come to this one particular body of water, and you like, I'm really feeling this person, and you want everything to be good.
Right.
I'm just going to say, first time around, maybe not put too much emphasis on that one because you got to build.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I could say. Being married is we had to build that thing. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the good thing about it is that, you practice as much as you want. But what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? But I had to take the time and really, really learn him. And just like wine, you know what I'm saying? It gets better with time. So I would say, don't be so hard on yourself that first time around.
Well, let's talk about it, because I think a lot of times, like you're saying, when you have previous, that's who you're bringing those experiences to that moment. Okay, when I did this, you know what I'm saying, I done did this backflip, I didn't have this leg way worse than this, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta leave all that. You gotta shed all that.
I'm about to do that again, and then you go, my leg don't bend like that, you know. So you do have to learn each. You have to. I'll say this: you have to unlock the person that you're with. You have to learn how to.
You do.
How to handle them, how to touch them, how to move them. And I do feel like it's a way better casual, getting your rocks.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn the people because. I mean, yeah, we're gonna keep it classy. But what I can say, like from a female standpoint, the more time you put in with her, and the more you stimulate those different areas, that mental, that emotional, you know what I'm saying? You start caring for her. I mean, just like a flower when it blooms, you know what I'm saying? That thing's got layers. She's going to open up.
Right.
And I ain't tooting no horns. I'm just saying you're going to get you're going to get some different experiences along the way if you put that time in.
Mm-hmm.
So you put that time in and you start connecting with that person on different levels. Let me tell you, they're gonna love you hard. Love can go hard. You know what I'm saying? Because it's nothing like. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, babe. You got it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say because it's nothing like. I'm gonna tell you. So when I learned a little bit about Jeff, what I would do is I was like, okay, he like a good meal. I got you. Okay.
All right, I'm
He
put all my
likes to
secrets
be touched.
out there.
He likes,
Don't tell
you know what I'm saying?
everybody heard that now.
He,
Keep it.
I learned the things
Keep
that he
them.
like. I was like, okay, he like a good meal. Oh, he's a movie person. Okay, I got it. All right. He likes this type of thing and that type
XYZ.
of thing. And I would set a night up. You hear what I'm saying? I would set up a
Mhm.
whole evening. And I'm gonna say after doing that so many times,
Mhm.
let me tell you,
You build up
I
credit,
don't
huh? You building that
you don't I
credit.
mean, you building up that credit. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it does come back to you in a tangible way. You don't
Right.
do it for that reason, but he know what I like. So when I come home and I be like, it's some things laid across that bed, I'm like, yes. You know what I'm saying? It's the appreciation because to me it's more than just a gift, but to me it's like you see me and you see what I do and you
Right.
see that I care for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's the appreciation. It don't even matter what it is. I love gummy bears. Okay. And I remember when we first got married, he gave me this humongous bag of gummy bears, and I was happy as can be. Okay, because
Huh?
I love gummy bears. So
Listen,
uh,
listen, listen. I was winning on some gummy
he
bears.
was winning on some gummy
Listen.
bears. Okay,
That's part of intimacy. That was me
it was. It is.
learning you and
Mhm.
enjoy. I'm talking about you. That's just you enjoying a snack. But
Yeah.
how
But while I'm
that
enjoying
part
that
right
snack, I'm
there.
thinking about you. Because
Right.
you know what I'm thinking
I
about? I'm thinking about the fact that you paid attention. I know that
mm,
you're paying attention. That's what
Mhm.
gets me. You're paying attention. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen, I mean, you see those instances where somebody be like, oh my God, I bought you this expensive gift and you know, they don't get the reaction that they thought they was gonna
Uh-huh.
get. Maybe you gotta pay a little bit more attention and look closely at what that
Yep.
person really likes. Because maybe you could have saved you a coin and got something that was less expensive, but get the reaction that you're looking for.
Mhm.
But nevertheless, all right. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. We are the Satchel Point of View. Got my lovely husband, Jeff. Our special co host, Ronnie. It is the small things. So we got a comment, y'all. Lisa
Okay.
Wilson says, it's the small things that mean the most to us as women. I agree with her.
Yes. I
The small
agree.
things are a big deal.
Because I always say I'm
Lisa,
simple.
that's my people. Thank you for tuning in. I love you.
Yeah. We got another comment from Laverne Green and it just says family with the green heart. We want to say hello,
Oh,
hello. Thank y'all for watching. We hope that you
Hello.
are enjoying what we've put out so far and there's more to come.
there's definitely more. So with the intimacy, we talked about the vulnerability,
We
feeling
did.
safe.
Vulnerability. Yeah.
So we kind of skipped over part of it. So the mental
Which
part,
one?
being over
Ooh.
the mental intimacy, your ideas and thoughts, and
Ooh.
is and then as part of the other part of that is we get to know one another, but we
Mhm.
don't always. I think some to share your real thoughts and ideas with people. So I'll say this like with Sheila, I have like Sheila and me. One thing, I get into politics. She said, "This is my
He
government."
got that
I
politician
was
look
like,
going on.
huh,
Y'all see it.
huh.
The governor is in the room. The governor.
But politics and different different educational things. I do documentaries and stuff like that, and that's not really her niche. And so it's sometimes it is a barrier that we have with our intimacy is share certain ideas and certain things with her because it's just like okay, like she'd be like, all right, I hear, and then so I can't go into depth with her with certain topics like that. You get what I'm saying? That's one
Mhm.
thing that is hard because when you sharing, I'll say this: when somebody's sharing their ideas and their thoughts, you don't always have to agree, but I do feel like the courteous thing is to at least, you get what I'm saying? To get their point of view, to get they're trying to say, so you can get to understand who they are and why. And I think sometimes we shut people down when they be like, oh, that, especially when sports, especially in the spiritual side of it, when people be like, oh well, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a so and so, and they be like, oh, I'm not into that, and you just shut somebody down them to explain why they like what they like.
Right.
And I look at that because you have my grandparents. My grandma was a Jehovah's Witness. Granddad he was himself. He went every now and again. But my thing was, and people say, well, how could they be together? My thing was, they didn't have to believe the same thing, but they respected each other's belief. That's why they was able to be together for over 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
He would go every time, but when there was big events, he would go. He didn't. I'm telling you, to have to go with him, but we knew after the first service he was cutting out right beside my granddad, because when he cut out, I was cutting out too. But it was, to me, that was an intimate thing to me. Looking back, looking into it, was he, although he didn't believe in it, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I think on this, well, people not gonna like this. It's okay.
Oh, hold on, J Sats. We got a comment. We got a comment from Diamond Anderson. She says, agree to disagree, but get the understanding of what they're saying.
Correct. And that's what I'm saying. You have to understand one another. And that's what it's understanding one another. You have to be vulnerable with one another and be another, and your differences. And so me and Sheila, but I respect her differences.
Yeah.
And so I have been enjoying this conversation.
Absolutely. It's been fun.
I feel like we're going to start wrapping it up. So because Ronnie has my beautiful niece Corey in the picture.
Corey said it's my turn. Okay.
Listen.
That is my baby. We're going to do final. See any last sayings, anything you want the people to know about intimacy. We're going to go with Sheila, and I will close out on the final C. Ronnie, you have the floor.
Okay. Well, how I'm going to close it out is, like I said, I feel like you need all four. You need the balance of all four when you're in a relationship. And I feel like the physical will come without a thought, especially if you have the mental and you are open with each other and you're connected on that whole nother level. That's just for me. It might not be the same for everyone else. And like I said, it may change as I'm getting older, but that's just where I'm at this stage right now.
All right.
Thank you, Ronnie. Sheila.
Hello, everyone. So it's my turn. So, what I want to say about intimacy is that it's only as good as what you put in. What makes intimacy great is vulnerability, but that is a choice. You got to feel safe and you got to trust. So, what I would say to everyone out there is be wise with who you share your space with. If you don't trust it, you may not want to invest into it, because intimacy is close. It's a closeness.
Mm-hmm.
You're connecting with someone. You're letting your guard down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're we ain't really getting to the spiritual side of it, but I'm like you tapping into some things. But nevertheless, so I would just say, you may want to consider who you're intimate with and the purpose and the intent of it. And I also want to say to everyone out there, for those of you who are watching on Facebook, I want you to hit that like button. You better believe it. I'm coming with it. I want y'all to hit that like and that share button. It helps our reach. Head on over to the Satchel POV Facebook page and follow us so that you never miss a podcast. And then for the YouTube family, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to ring that notification bell so that every time that we're live, you'll get that notification and you'll know. And you're always free to comment. Even if you're watching the replay, you guys, leave a comment. We'll do our best to get back with you. Thank you so much for watching. I am Coach Sheila. Pep Talk. It's a thing. Get into it. All
Okay,
right.
okay, okay. Stay. This is why I can give her the floor. But finishing up on intimate, definitely the spiritual part we did not get to tap into, which is a person not to get super spiritual, but I do believe in soul ties. I do believe that everybody take a part of them, and so that's a lot of careful who you're sleeping with, what they believe in, what what are their characteristics. We don't have all night to talk get into that, but that's something maybe we'll bring. I do want to say when it comes to intimacy, I heard shout out to you, Dr. Mel, and enjoyed your Bible study last night.
It was
But
so good.
you said something last night about intimacy that I wanted to share with the people, which was into me you see. And I thought that was so good because
phenomenal.
it talks about being vulnerable, because when you're being intimate with is seeing into you. And so if if you have walls up, if you're blocked from you, you're not being intimate, because intimacy is vulnerable. Trusting, you can't have intimacy without trust. You have to trust that person with your weaknesses. You have to fully expose yourself to all your scars and everything. Intimacy. With that, we're wrapping up the conversation on
We
intimacy.
are. It's been so fun, you guys. It has been so
We could not do
fun.
this without you and you. The next topic
Yeah.
will be gender roles.
Gender roles. Huh?
That's gonna be a good one, y'all.
Oh, we got a comment. Thank you,
I think
Lisa, for your comment. She said absolutely. And then hello, Dante Williams. He said facts. Let that guard down, baby. I know that's right. Thank you for watching.
Hey, Dante.
Gotta do that. Come on.
So
yeah,
we look forward, you guys, to the next one. Y'all have a great evening. Gender roles. Listen, we gonna get into it. That whole male female thing. We gonna stop, because if we keep going, we gonna be here another hour. We gonna stop. All right, y'all. Good night. Good night.
Good night. Thank you all for watching.
Good night, guys.
This has been the Satchel Point of View.